Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Run It Up number 7. I am Jay Carver playing a $20 multi-table tournament here on ultimatepoker.com. Now, you might ask, you might be noticing something about this multi-table tournament. There aren't really that many tables. So, what was scheduled, it's just like a $20 tournament set for, I think it's like every 20 minutes past the hour or something like that this tournament runs. And we've got 4 players here, so I was looking for something to play, and then I just saw this in the tournament lobby and was like, perfect. It's gonna be shorthanded. It'll be relatively quick. 10-minute level is actually much longer than what we're normally used to, but the blind structure beyond that I think is the same as what we're used to. Yeah, it looks like the same, I believe, as what we're used to seeing. So yeah, that looks like it's the same. So hopefully we will do well in this. There is only one spot paying. First place is 72.80. So we're gonna have to win to cash. But what a cash it would be! So we'll have to see how that goes. So this player raised, and when raised call, he made either 60 or. Yeah, I must have made it 60 because here we are. And then this player led out. I think I can call 1 here. I mean, it's not the best call. I'm not super happy about it, but I think it's okay. We have position on this guy who's leading. If he bets here again, I'm probably just going to fold. His check makes me happy, though, because it probably means we have the best hand. It's definitely not 100%, but it's at least possible that he was just betting out with a hand that is not ahead of us. He might have just queen jack and just be check calling. Could have 2 diamonds in his check calling. At this point, I don't see any reason to bet. We either win or we don't. Still got 1,100 chips, even if we do lose. I'm not too upset about it. Let's see. All right, off to a nice start. Chip leader in the entire tournament. I'm the chip leader right now. How cool is that? So yeah, here we are. 10, 20 blinds, 3 opponents. No one's too chatty. I mean, it's very serious. It's the 11:30 p.m. So everyone just wants to just win and get it over with, I guess. Limp on the button here. Sure, we'll complete with 9-10 offsuit, 2 cards in a row, in case you didn't notice. We'll be folding to this 120 thing. Although maybe if he calls, I'll talk myself into it. That's my thought process. You guys got to hear an insider, exclusive peek into the thought process of a pro. It's a lot of groaning and moaning, and then just like, all right, I'll click a button. Okay, why not? So I think this player then just check called, which is a little weird, but hey, whatever. So yeah, run up number 7, or first run up episode with a I almost said a 6-figure bankroll, not quite, with a 3-figure bankroll, notably less than 6 figures. We had $104 to start the session, and like 40, I think it was 103.43, ace king. So we check called flop, and then I didn't really watch the rest of the hand, to be honest, so can't really narrate to you. But ace king is good, is the winner. Might as well raise here on the button. Don't see why not. Don't really have a reason not to raise on the button, so hey. Flop top pair, which is a great hand. Three hearts is a little scary, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared yet. In the always applicable words of Nick Diaz, don't be scared, homie. And I'm not scared. So we'll be betting twice here for value and a little bit of protection. We sometimes don't have the best hand, but way more often we do have the best hand, and I'm just betting to just charge him for seeing a 5th card. Certainly raising ace 10. Probably raising any ace under the gun here, 4-handed. Don't see why not. With 10-minute blinds, it's actually kind of a decent idea to play these, I think, because the structure is pretty good. The fields are never too long, so it's still, or never too big, so it makes for decent videos, which are always good, considering this is a video-only series. Reduce chip that 30 chips. So just like in all the sit and goes that we saw, we're going to really try to make sure we have the chip lead at 75, 150, assuming we're still in at that point. I'm not really sure. I think this will probably end up being a longer video, maybe a 2-part video. But I guess we'll see. Don't really know as of this point. This is the first one of these that I've played. So I folded with him, and he had auto call on, and I think this is a good spot to put in some more chips. He only has 750. He can't be too loose with his limp calls, but he does decide to limp call here. Flop a 7, which is pretty much the best thing you can ask for when you raise with deuce 7 pre-flop. If he bets, we will call. If he checks, we will bet. I almost made a joke, and I almost said if he shoves, we'll be... I almost said it, but I didn't. I mean, you know, when you look at a bet like this, we definitely have the best hand here some percentage of the time, like for sure. And given the price that we're getting, it's like okay to call. But we don't know our opponent. This is my favorite hand in poker, 3-5 of spades. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. I'm being rewarded for my huge fold of second pair. I just think, wow, and I guess we're folding it because he made it so big. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we're ahead, but when we're not ahead, we're putting in so many chips behind with not much of a chance of improving. And a lot of the hands he has are hands that have a lot of equity against us anyway, like 8-9, some stuff like that, you know, straight draws, flush draws, stuff like that. So, I mean, look at all this. Flop a flush draw, turn a pair. This is just a horror show. We're being punished here for our lack of faith in the 3-5, in the 5-3, the 5-3 of spades. So, we are not chip lead anymore, but that's all right. We'll get there. As long as we're chip leader at the end of the tournament, that's really all that matters. All right, 40 chips. 40 chips. So my initial impressions of these players is that Top Chef, while perhaps or the even Top Chef, does not seem like the top poker player at the table. Just think he's done a couple things that don't seem to be traditionally the best thing to do. These two both seem kind of tight, although I honestly don't really quite remember why I feel that way. He had the ace-king and he checked. That's one thing he did on the ace-king flop. I gotta get better with remembering these things. Don't see a reason why we shouldn't bet here. I mean, if we're going to raise 10-5 offsuit under the gun, I think we can bet. Often enough times this player will fold, and once this player folds, we're going to win this pot so often. Even if this player has like ace-4, we usually can just get it done. If he calls, we're probably finished with the hand, unless the turn card is a card that inspires me to further action. And no, all of that talking for nothing. Just get a ship the pot, which is fine by me. If only I could talk my way into every pot, that would just be... I would just be the main event champion every year. It would be very close between me and Negreanu maybe every year. So if it does get limped to us here, I am going to be raising because I think we have the best hand more often than not, and I think I'd like to raise and charge them for that. I think I'm going to make it a little bigger than 120. 150 was not what I meant to press, but I don't really mind it. I was going to make it 140, but I think 150 is fine. We win the pot pre-flop and often enough, which is okay with me because I just don't think any of them are very strong. But once in a while, I get called by one. We win the pot post-flop most of the time. Let me pick that up there. Probably going to fold this. Don't see a reason to get in here with the 9-3 offsuit. Wow, another raise to 120. That's going to be interesting to see if people keep doing that when we get down to the higher blind levels, because that will be exploited by this guy. Maybe not anybody else, but I'm going to try. That looks good to me. So we're going to raise this for sure. Don't see why not. Suited hand on the button. Suited king on the button even. I don't expect this player to fold too often, but I'm okay with that. Let's just see a flop. And then in position, hopefully he'll just check fold when we don't improve or continue when we do improve. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter what he does, but I think we win the pot post-flop often enough, and sometimes we win the pot pre-flop, which is also cool with me. I'm very open. I'm very flexible. Whatever people want to do, you know? You want to fold pre-flop, that's fine. You want to call and check fold. I'm giving you all the options. It's you have all the options here in Run It Up. On our friend Top Chef over there. And a re-raise. So, I think we're going to just fold. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? We'll just fold. We have the best hand sometimes, but again, it's a lot of chips. I haven't really seen him do this yet, and I feel like we're winning so many of the little pots that putting in like 10% of our stack with ace-jack here is just like asking to be punished. If we had ace-queen, I wouldn't fold. I would just be like, all right, what can you do? But I think with ace-jack, we can just let it go, lose 40 chips, and move on with our lives. I think that's okay. So there are 2 players with 1K and 2 players with 2K. Seems fair enough. Blinds finally go up 1530, so we'll start moving along here. Next blind level will be 2550, so pretty slow for a little while. Another limp on the button here. If he raises to 100 or less, I'll probably call. If he limps, I will probably check. What did I say? 100 or less? I'm still tempted, but I guess I'm just gonna fold. I mean, that makes me sad. Don't punish me, please. I already feel punished with the gut shot. Just having the opportunity to have 5 cards in a row. I feel like I missed out. And then he checked. Yeah, we probably could have won this pot, but I think it's fine. You can't be results oriented, like based on what the flop is. I am just kidding. I'm actually very proud of. I'm gonna give my all you YouTube fans props, because sometimes I say things and I'm like worried that people will write in the chat like, "Why are you so results oriented?" But no, that never happens. You guys are great for the most part. That never happens. You guys are pretty awesome with that. So, although I would be really curious to know, what do you guys do when you watch these like 20 or 30-minute videos? Like for me, I mean, I always thought these 20-minute videos were crazy. Oh, look at that. Look, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. Damn it. Punished. I did go raise, re-raise, so there was no way we were getting it in. We were going to stick around here. But yeah, what do you guys do for these during these 20-minute videos? It blows my mind that people watch 20 minutes of anything. I mean, I guess I watch like TV shows that are 20 minutes. I think the only show that I really watch that's like 20 to 30 minutes is like Nathan For You. I think I'm a big fan of Nathan Fielder. He's awesome. If you haven't seen that show and you have a sense of humor, check that one out. Curb Your Enthusiasm is probably the only other show. Oh, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now I'm thinking through that there are shows of a similar caliber of this. I'm sure we can all agree that that are worth watching. But yeah, hey, it's awesome. I have to say I've been really amazed and inspired. Relatively inspired by how much you guys seem to be watching these videos. The comments, the support, all that stuff is awesome. Oh, top vote, is that all? All that stuff is awesome though, and I really appreciate that. And without that, I probably wouldn't be making videos every day. So as long as you guys keep that love coming, I promise to keep the videos coming on a reasonably timely basis. Sorry for yesterday's video, because that meant to come out earlier and it didn't. And I still messed up the video, so my bad. I submit that was my mistake. So we're gonna bet here because we have the best hand sometimes, and we would like to keep it that way, or make them pay if not. So this is an interesting turn card against this player. All right, I decided to check. I think he'll play his hand semi-straightforwardly on the turn. So now at this point, the question is, does it make more sense to bet? Is he calling us with ace highs, pairs worse than us? I think it makes more sense to check and let him try to bluff if he has 8-9, 8-5, 5-4, clubs. He might even turn like king-queen into a bluff, something like that. We definitely can't fold now. He might have a 7, or he might have just like ace-jack of clubs, jack-5 of clubs, something like that. He could even have like ace-6 and be really crazy. Could have pocket 8s, anything like that. But I think given the price, we have to call. We don't really have much of a choice. I'm just slow rolling this guy in conversation. All right, we ship that. I'm glad we checked. That was not... Don't think he was paying us off with the 10-8 of clubs. So that's a nice little pot there. In this spot, I'm planning on calling unless he shoves, which would end that. I mean, I guess this is pretty much the same thing. Just going to muck that. I would have called if he made it like 90, 80, even like 100. I would have been tempted to call, but not for 180. If he folds to me here, I'm probably going to end up calling. We're going to start implementing our blind versus blind attack. He had auto check fold on, so there's no way he has an ace. It's possible he has 4 deuce offsuit or 3-5 offsuit, but without that, we're going to win this pot. I mean, obviously, if he has 5 or a 3, he's likely to at least see another card, but we're probably winning against those hands anyway. Gonna raise because, hey, it's the button. Why not raise? That's the better question. Good flop for us, in so much as that no one else likely has very much. I think I'm going to make it 80 to kind of swoop out some of the weaker hands that still might stick around for 60. Like, I would hate to see king queen check call, then we just give up. That would be unfortunate. 8 on the turn. So with both of them having called, what are we gonna do? If we bomb it, what are the chances these guys keep calling? Probably pretty good. You know, if they have like 8, 9, 7, any 9 might stick around. If he has a hand like 5, 6, 2 6s, 2 7s, there are lots of hands that have some sort of equity that want to see another card. And at this point, I don't think we're getting a 9 to fold, although we certainly might have a shot at winning this with a bluff, especially if we priced it like 600 or something like that. But I think I'm just going to check, see 4 cards, and figure out, or I should say 2 cards if he has the winning hand. So I don't think that hand was folding on the turn. I mean, it was probably folding if I bet turn and river, but I wasn't really planning on doing that. So I think our play is A-OK. Min-raise the king-9 offsuit under the gun here. Get called by both blinds, which is what I always like to see. I think this might be... I think I might check this back here, just because I don't believe either one of these players folds an ace on the turn, and I don't really think I'm planning on barreling multiple times to try to get someone to fold ace-5. So if we're ahead, we're usually ahead by a mile now, or we're way, way behind. So if it checks to us twice, we'll be betting here for value for sure. We can bet very small because we're probably near 90% plus to win the pot. Let's see. 4 seems like a good river card. So the question is there value if we bet? If he bets, are we calling? Okay. Well, this doesn't make a lot of sense unless he has like 6-4, king-4, ace-4. You could have like ace-5 and just bet, which would be silly, but it's possible he could just do that. The question is, does he turn other hands into a bluff often enough? Like, is he bluffing with clubs, with gut shots? And I think it's possible. Like, I think this is really close. I think this is really close to calling on the river, but I decided just to fold. I mean, I don't think we win that often enough. And trust me, from a guy that always calls the river, if I thought there was hope, I would have been in there. But I think that's slightly not a good enough price for us. So here we are, flopping second pair in a limped pot. So I'm going to be betting this out because I don't really want it to go check around and then pretty much every turn card is bad for us. I'd much prefer it to go fold, call, and then we can go from there. Or we just bet and he raises, and we pretty much know if we're not going to have the best hand. So let this one go. Don't see why we would continue. And here we are. So yesterday, the main event. You know what? I'm not going to go over that because some people don't like main event spoilers. So there were people in the main event. None of them made the final table. That's the update here from the news desk. Back to you. Yeah, so I guess I did go through players that were left a couple days ago, but I don't think I want to go through the final 9. That's probably bad for... I'm sure there are people that want to avoid spoilers, so I won't go through that. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me. I did not make the November 9 this year. We have the best hand here a lot, but I don't really want to bet. He does have a 6 a decent amount of the time. He also has like random 1 spades, 4s, stuff like that. The fact that he bet makes me kind of sad because I feel like he would just check back 4 or deuce a lot of times, so we're only beating like 7-8. Once again, I'm slow rolling this guy because I'm never folding this hand here, but we do lose here more often than the last time. But not to the 8-3. So we do pick that pot up there. This poor guy thinks I'm actually thinking about folding twice when I'm just explaining to him. He's like, oh, maybe he'll fold. And then both times just, no way. 0%, pal. I'm sorry to break it to you. Another good flop for us with the king 10 offsuit. Less good when this fellow bets. But this time I won't be folding unless this player continues, and then we will be folding. If he had not, I would have probably stuck around, seen a turn card. Maybe I can win the spot with some scary turn cards rolling off. Now he's tanking, which is weird. Bet and call. And now we're just check folding. Is that what we're doing here? I mean, I would imagine this player has like, maybe he has a 7. He's just like protecting his 7. All right. Well, we read his hand, right? Don't think King 10 was going to win this pot at any given phase. All right, so he's got himself a new chip leader over there on the other side of the table. Blinds just went up. Gonna fold this hand under the gun. We would have folded this anyway, but we're definitely gonna fold with that guy behind us that has 5 big blinds. This guy who has 10, or I should say 12 big blinds. So I think that's a solid fold. Next blind level is gonna be 50, 100. So this is kind of the sink or swim blind level for both of these players for sure, and for us to some degree. But we're gonna want to make sure that we kind of get through. I think this next level is a big jump, and then 75, 150 after that is a big jump. So just want to be prepared for that. I'm okay with this guy doubling up because I think, I mean, it does make us have to play slightly tighter, but I kind of like this four-handed dynamic going on, so I think it's working out pretty well for us. So I'm okay with keeping him around. And it's not like there's a bubble or anything where we just like didn't get any money. Not that I'm like sweating the money even if there was, but please, we need it. We need that whatever the bubble would be, like $40. So if he shoves, we're gonna just fold pocket threes. I mean, I know it hurts to fold pairs, but I don't think we need to get it in there with threes. Not quite good enough. No antes. He's still got a decent amount of chips. Just fold. Deuces, another decent hand. Gonna raise this. If he shoves, we have to call. I mean, we're gonna need to just based on the pot odds. Hopefully that doesn't happen. This worked out well. Okay, not the best flop for us, but we're not going to be checking because we hit this board far more often than our opponent. 150 sounds good to me. Probably gets the job done more often than not. King on the turn. All right, put on your seatbelts, boys, and the 8% of you that are girls. We're making some bets here. Planning on betting every river, pretty much, unless it's like the 8 of clubs. Ugh, King of clubs is kind of dirty. I was planning on betting a lot. That is for sure, like a lot. And I think I'm still gonna bet here. I mean, I think it works often enough that he's gonna fold like 10. Sometimes he'll fold like ace 5, ace 6, something like that. Those types of hands. And sometimes we have the best hand. He has 8-9 or like jack 9, something like that. But all right, so we min raise here. We're gonna have to call just based on the pot odds. I'm not loving it, but sometimes he has like king queen. Oh, we can fold now. Say he guys might save this a little bit. Hey, we would have been ahead. Hey, what's that like for? What's that hand reading thing like? You know, we just said sometimes he has king queen. Boom, king queen. All right, so we're 3-handed now. Still got the chip lead. Blinds will go up in 5 minutes. So we've got 5 minutes of 25-50 and then 50-100, which is probably a favorite to be a heads-up battle, but that's cool with me. This is sweet. I wish we could do videos like this for every video because this is like perfect. We have a good bind, like $20 is like perfect for our $100 bankroll. Not perfect for you at home with $100, by the way, but perfect for perfect for the challenge. So yeah, that worked out well. And then four-handed is great. This is perfect. I think I'm gonna bet. Don't see why not. I assume we don't have the best hand at this point, but doesn't mean we won't win the pot. 300. I'm dubious. I mean, clearly we don't have the best hand. I'm not questioning that. I'm just questioning whether or not I can call that and then do something about it on the river. But I decided the answer to that was not often enough. Sad though. I mean, I didn't think that was not usually what I anticipated happening, but interesting nonetheless, I guess. I mean, we could have ended up, nah. That king 10 hand is interesting. I definitely like betting, and then I guess the question is, do you call the check raise? It depends. I mean, I guess we don't quite have the right price, assuming he has a queen or better every time. So he min raised pre to 2.25, and then bet 250 on this flop here. I guess we just fold. I mean, our hand is decent, but he bet so much that I think we can fold fours and it's just like a. Just doesn't hurt us too badly to fold a 4 there. I think it's fine to just muck that. We would continue with hands that are better than that, but I think we can just fold 4s. I will call a min raise with queen deuce suited. Let's see what happens on the flop. We still win this turn. We still win this pot sometimes, and it goes check check, or he bets like 50 or something, and I have to call. In this particular instance, I think I'm just going to be check folding. So nice little heater here for Marco. I mean, that king 10 hand kind of sucked, but I mean, it was more, if he had just made it like 400, we would just always fold. But based on the price he made, it made me think that maybe we could get away with, calling and then doing something tricky on the river, but I'm okay with that. This is a good flop for us. Going to bet 100 here. He usually just folds a lot of the stuff that, can't really continue on that board. Either you have it or you usually don't. I mean, there are obviously like ace highs. Some hands don't have it and would still continue, but for the most part. I guess you guys by now can probably anticipate what the plan is between the blind versus blind. I'm going to fold if he shoves. All that good stuff. Blind's going up in 2 minutes, so we've got gonna have some work to do. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's not really true, but we're gonna have to get our heater, our luck box, nice and warmed up for that segment of this. Oops, of this little heads up challenge. Maybe we can look at the numbers when we're heads up and make a deal. I mean, it's huge, Let's chop it up. $20 a piece. 20 bucks profit a piece, $125 for the fans. All right, so Top Chef gets a little bit shorter. Chop down over there. 7-4 offsuit. Just gonna muck this one. Don't think. I wouldn't hate anyone that really wanted to open this hand, but I think we can just fold it. We've been opening pretty much every other hand. Don't think it hurts us too badly. 6-8, gonna walk. I'll take it. So at some point, I do want to do a 4-tabling live stream cash session. I just have to figure out a time that I have 2 hours free to do it on, and that has not been too often the case recently. I mean, actually, I don't think it's been the case since April, to be honest. So here we have the best hand 100% of the time. It's 100% of the time. So I'm just hoping at some point he can call with a 7 or has queen high or something like that. Doesn't seem like the bluffing type where I would check, but we tried our best to win the most money possible there, and didn't really work out. 5-6. I think I'm still going to just fold this. I don't think there's a huge reason to min raise there. Marco's played pretty correctly in the small blind. I feel like we haven't always seen players play correctly blind versus blind against a short stack, and Marco certainly has so far. So he has 205 chips. So if he shoves, will be. Well, now it doesn't matter. Wow, Jack's and ace queen. I think I actually prefer this dynamic with this player short stacked slightly. So I think, although heads up is obviously fine, and I'm reasonably sure I'm a favorite heads up against this player. I think the three-handed dynamic is good for us too, and it'll probably remain good for us when the blinds go up in under a minute now. Oh, there they are. So, okay, we'll be calling. Let's see what it does. Definitely betting this time. Where I had jack high last time and I didn't want to bluff. Now I, of course, do want to bluff because this hand is not nearly as good as jack high on an ace king king board. Jack 5. May as well min raise. This hand is good enough for that. This call is a little fishy. and fishy, suspicious fishy. But like, you know what, it's a little, I'm a little suspicious of that just because he's so short, so he's probably not super weak. On this flop, I think we just have to bet once and then give up. Just don't think there's any reason we should be checking, but I think we definitely just want to fire one and done here. Thankfully, one is all it took. It's nice to be one and done when one just works, you know. That's the best kind of one and done. So I have my new casting set up here. I actually casted on this before, but I didn't even mention it, which is a little weird. 260 to win 460. All right, let's see it. Certainly we're less than a 2-to-1 dog. All right, we're like 88%. Nice. All right, so we're heads up with a little chip lead, like a 800 chip lead, 3300 to 2700. I guess I should type GG. You guys are watching me fail as a site pro as I'm not saying GG to people as they're busting. Please write emails to support. Dear support, I'm mad that Jay Carver didn't say GG to his opponents. I'm sure one day someone will write something like that to support, but you know, please don't actually write anything. I like Ultimate Poker. They've actually been awesome. It's been such a great, like, something I always had wanted was a deal like this where it's like being part of a team. Everyone's so nice to me, and we work together like so collaboratively on so many things. It's been really awesome. Something I've really enjoyed doing despite being super busy every day, which is not something I'm used to, but it's been really awesome. I'm gonna check call here. That's a good turn card because it obviously makes it a lot harder for him to have an ace here. We're still drawing dead against like pocket, you know, sevens or something like that. So I think I'm gonna check call one more time and then hope it goes check on the river if we have the best hand. Like, I think he could be bluffing on the turn, but I don't think he'll bluff the river, having got to this spot. So I think if he bets here, we're just gonna fold. But yeah, let's see. Nice. I'm glad that worked out so well. Queen 10. I think I'm going to try limping. I'm afraid he might be a little steamed and might just shove a lot if we min raise, and I don't want to call with this hand. So I think limping is cool, and I don't think he'll attack a limp necessarily. Going to bet here for value. If he check shoved, it would have been, I mean, we'd have to just call because his most likely hand is a jack, and we're way ahead of a lot of other things. Pocket aces. Definitely going to be raising this one. Don't want to raise too much because I don't want him to fold. Although he still might limp fold for 300, but it doesn't, thankfully. Good flop for us. Going to bet that much. 250. Let's see what we do. Marco 27.99. He decides to fold. Blinds will be up in 6 minutes. This video has gone on for 33 minutes. Oh, brother. I hope you guys really did like these longer videos because you're getting one. Limp. I mean, it's not a great hand, and I would usually sometimes just shove this, but I felt against this player we could get away with this. The fact that he made it 300 and we're getting such a great price in position means I'm going to call, try to make a pair, and then go all in. So I've got most of that plan has worked out. Has worked out pretty well. So let's see what happens. All right, one card away. Nice, we shipped it. All right, look at us go. Heater City. We're running it. We're running it right on up. So sweet. How much did we win, Ultimate Poker? 72.80. Nice. All right, so you're in for a 20. So we won 52.80, our biggest single day score ever on Run It Up. So I started today with, I started this session with 104 and change, and then I won 52.80. So we got $156. Nice. We're up $100 in profit. Sweet video, nice. This worked out so perfectly. This was like exactly perfect. Time was great and everything. If you liked the video as much as I liked the video, I'm gonna talk in that voice. If you liked the video as much as I liked the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tweet, all those great things. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. It's obviously a little late over here. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Wow, I messed this up again for like the second day in like 3 days. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with more. Thanks so much for watching. It means a lot to me. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.